Don't forget to check out the exclusive content and tutorials. Links are in the description. There are some interesting things that happen in crowd dynamics, and that is what we're going to look at. Who knows, maybe we'll see something really interesting. Pence really is that preacher guy. Obviously, if you can't tell that he's going down and shaking hands with the Democratic side, he just has it in his face. He can, whatever's going through his mind, I honestly believe that he doesn't really have any dark spaces. You know, some people are just weasels constantly. They think about their misdeeds and who's it's affected, and they always try and paint over it, pretend. Every time I see Pence, if he does do anything that's dark, or if he has done anything that's dark, he doesn't see it that way. He's just one of those preacher guys. They get along with everybody. I mean, he does better than Grassley. Grassley is just on the Republican side. Pence is pinballing down both sides. I truly like that. You want somebody who can reach across. It's a good personality. You don't want them to be weak. You know, they need to be on that morality, their own morality, not dictated by someone else, but to be able to go both sides and not have animosity. Mentally, that's good. You freeze out one side, you shut down conversation. That's bad. Yeah, regardless of how crazy some of the things they want is. That was kind of cold. Brr. That wasn't a whole lot of happiness. It was literally just a cold handshake, like pure business. He had more warmth going up and down the Democratic side, but the people that don't like his views, chilly. It's getting chilly. Now you can see between these two, there's a lot more warmth, not business. So now you sit there and say, oh, so these are allies. Pence, business. The difference being, allies got the back no matter if you're wrong or not, like a really close friendship. Business has got your back as long as it's good for business. I see Pelosi submitting quite a bit to Pence, but she's not giving him eye contact. That's a sign of weakness, one. It's also, I look at that as a sneaky, snaky type thing. Someone who won't look at you, but they're shying away from you to get away. It's like, oh, my politeness is here. You just want to get away. Don't look at you. It doesn't build trust. If I saw that, I'd be like, okay, I'm watching my back with you. And then obviously you see why. We've seen enough Pelosi to understand the pattern. And then constantly looking around. Quickly. Stress. I hope that's water in her glass, not vodka. That actually looks like quite a bit of cohesion through here. You're not seeing one side being ignored too much. I mean, it's cohesion. And as long as they have a common goal, that's what gives a crowd its cohesion. So then you look at, well, for this group, they pass bills. And all the bills that they agree on gives you the idea of what their cohesion is. And then the bills they disagree on gives you an idea of what their cohesion is. I like this one because it's so animated. It shows exactly what I'm seeing by most of these people. And it's fake enthusiasm. So you look at it from this point of view. You've got all these people going through with their fake enthusiasm for cohesion. Both sides of the aisle. This is great, 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 great. And this sums it up really well because it's fake. So their cohesion at this point is we're going to fake it as we're buddies. So why do you want to fake it like you're buddies? You can speculate on that. Rand Paul, faking it like buddies. Then you can speculate why the cohesion is there. Remember what I said? You find out what the cohesion is by what they vote on together. And here we see that the cohesion at this moment is faking it as if we're buddies. Why? Why would you do that? Even on the same side they do it. It's just weird. It's like some high school drama. Damn it. And I was hoping to avoid reality TV. You know, the more I see of Ted, the more I like. You sit there and go back to him. He's got that positive head shake like it's the axe. Shake, 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 real sharp, down hard. Axe, 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 axe. I'm just trying to get to my seat.
The joint session will come to order. That's good. That's pretty good.
That was just interesting on Pelosi's part. Good, pretty good. She had to reassure herself of her actions. Just another indicator of her weakness in the mind. I thought that was just sweet. Jared loved his Ivanka. I think we were missing one. The justices themselves has a lot of stress. I didn't realize how much stress was on their faces. We'll start looking at your screen from the left, and we'll go down, because all of them do. Regardless of what side you think they're on, it's just stress. Oh, poor Roberts looks like he's about to cry. So much in the forehead and around the eyes and in the mouth. She's stressed. Tightness in the mouth, in the eyes. Then these two. These aren't real smiles. It's just stress. Take your hand experimentally and cover up the mouth of Kavanaugh and look at the eyes. That is not a smiling eye. It's a neat trick, by the way, if you actually want to see what people are thinking. That's stress. The eyes are stressed. The mouth is tight. Do the same thing to his little compadre next to him. And it's in every one of them. The poor woman in front, she's bouncing. Yeah, there's no happiness in this little crowd. You can speculate on the why. I just found it odd for this little group to be this stressed at a SOTU speech. One or two, you could sit there and chalk it up to stuff happening at home, things on the mind, personal things. But for all of them, yeah, it's weird. Yeah, take it even to the woman. It's just stress in the eyes, it's tightness in the face, stress. And yeah, Robert, yeah, he doesn't look right. He literally opens his mouth, and that fake smile that he's doing, it's just in the mouth, and the eyes are just like, I don't want to be here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Well, I know some things. But for the reasoning for this, because the mind and body, you can hold stress for certain things for a very long period of time. Most of the time, your body likes to release it in some way. So when I look at a group that are all in the same stress, I sit there and think something immediate, because that would not be a long-term stressor, because there would be ways to mentally get out of it. So for them all to be stressed, I think of something immediate. And I think of something, the immediate could be a week's old stress. Long-term would be months of stress, weeks on weeks of stress. So this to me looks like something immediate in that vicinity. And it could be as immediate as a day, but as long as about a week. She does not want to talk to him. I don't know who he is, but she's not very open. She shook his hand because Robert shook his hand. She's doing a big up and down movement with her head as if, okay, I'm done. Go away. There's an inappropriateness there that she's aware of, and apparently this guy is not. But even then, it's just more stress than usual. It's just weird. All right, we're going on. I couldn't help it. She was like, You see that instant thing? He turned his back and the smile just like melted off straight off. She was like, oh, I'm still on camera. Bring the smile back. Smile's back. All right, we really are done now. Well, that was interesting. Most of them, the respectful clap. Yeah, she's stressed too. Stress smile. Looking from this angle, you see the ones that are plastered down and you see the ones that are standing. Whatever revolution has apparently happened between the extremist Democrats and the regular Democrats, it's like they're not leashed. Remember the people that we showed in the old SOTUs where they would get, the look shot at them if they stood up? You better not stand up. We didn't really see that, at least with Melania coming in.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
Obviously, he favors one side over the other, and it's pretty apparent that not many people lined up on the other side to come and shake hands. Although the ones that did, they wanted a handshake. I support you. So much stress in the face. So much stress in the face. It's kind of like they got a secret they don't want to share. No, we don't know what the secret is. Don't go crazy.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, the First Lady of the United States, and my fellow Americans. We meet tonight at a moment of unlimited potential. As we begin a new Congress, I stand here ready to work with you to achieve historic breakthroughs for all Americans. Millions of our fellow citizens are watching us now gathered in this great chamber, hoping that we will govern not as two parties, but as one nation.
And there you go, you start to see the split. So they stand up. They don't all stand up. But we're not seeing the police, that church police that gives you the cut eye when you're doing something that doesn't go with the congregation's doctrine. And you can honestly say that the party has really just split. It might have fractured into many or two. We don't know. Some that are extreme, some that are moderates, and some that are extreme in the other way. The purse holders, the normal people, the lunatics.
The agenda I will lay out this evening is not a Republican agenda or a Democrat agenda. It's the agenda of the American people. Many of us have campaigned on the same core promises to defend American jobs and demand fair trade for American workers, to rebuild and revitalize our nation's infrastructure, to reduce the price of health care and prescription drugs, to create an immigration system that is safe, lawful, modern, and secure, and to pursue a foreign policy that puts America's interest first. There is a new opportunity in American politics if only we have the courage together to seize it. Victory is not winning for our party. Victory is winning for our country. This year, America will recognize two important anniversaries that show us the majesty of America's mission and the power of American pride. In June, we mark 75 years since the start of what General Dwight D. Eisenhower called the Great Crusade, the Allied liberation of Europe in World War II. On D-Day, June 6, 1944, 15,000 young American men jumped from the sky and 60,000 more stormed in from the sea to save our civilization from tyranny. Here with us tonight are three of those incredible heroes. Private First Class Joseph Riley, Staff Sergeant Irving Locker, and Sergeant Herman Zaitchek. Please. Gentlemen, we salute you. In 2019, we also celebrate 50 years since brave young pilots flew 250,000 miles through space to plant the American flag on the face of the moon. Half a century later, we are joined by one of the Apollo 11 astronauts who planted that flag, Buzz Aldrin. Thank you, Buzz. This year, American astronauts will go back to space on American rockets. In the 20th century, America saved freedom, transformed science, redefined the middle class, and when you get down to it, there's nothing anywhere in the world that can compete with America.
Just to reiterate something from the past SOTU, the Supreme Court nor the military will stand and give ovation. It's pretty much traditional. It's so they don't show bias. They will clap, but they will not give standing ovations. One, because any of the things that he says could be challenged in court. Plus, you don't want your military looking like, oh yeah, we're going to go. Get him, get him, get him. It's just a sign of respect.
Now we must step boldly and bravely into the next chapter of this great American adventure. And we must create a new standard of living for the 21st century. An amazing quality of life for all of our citizens is within reach. We can make our community safer, our family stronger, our culture richer, our faith deeper, and our middle class bigger and more prosperous than ever before. But we must reject the politics of revenge, resistance, and retribution, and embrace the boundless potential of cooperation, compromise, and the common good.
I was sitting there watching her as they panned away from it. It makes them actually uncomfortable because they're going to stand on the principle, and it's immature. Because what he's saying, well, it makes sense. And it goes against the belief system that they carry. But you do notice that she's not a raving pit bull cutting eyes at anyone who is standing up in disagreement with her stance. So she obviously doesn't try and control her peers. She may be trying to control people under her that she deems under her. But that whole thing just made, well, one, it made sense, so it made uncomfortable. And I really don't do videos on that mentality because it's like, do a body language on a 5-year-old. No, they have to grow up first before you can sit there and do anything.
Together, we can break decades of political stalemate. We can bridge old divisions, heal old wounds, build new coalitions, forge new solutions, and unlock the extraordinary promise of America's future. The decision is ours to make. We must choose between greatness or gridlock, results or resistance, vision or vengeance, incredible progress or pointless destruction. Tonight, I ask you to choose greatness. Over the last 2 years, my administration has moved with urgency and historic speed to confront problems neglected by leaders of both parties over many decades. In just over 2 years since the election, we have launched an unprecedented economic boom, a boom that has rarely been seen before. There's been nothing like it. We have created 5.3 million new jobs, and importantly added 600,000 new manufacturing jobs, something which almost everyone said was impossible to do. But the fact is, we are just getting started.
I like how he said they just got started.
Wages are rising at the fastest pace in decades and growing for blue-collar workers who I promised to fight for. They're growing faster than anyone else thought possible. Nearly 5 million Americans have been lifted off food stamps. The U.S. economy is growing almost twice as fast today as when I took office, and we are considered far and away the hottest economy anywhere in the world, not even close. Unemployment has reached the lowest rate in over half a century.
What do you say about Nancy? Hello, Nancy. She's done many things now to distract herself. You just saw her play with her hair. She's been playing with the little folder thing he gave to her at the beginning. Eventually, she starts playing with her dentures. Just take it for what it is. This stresses her. He's been given a platform. The entire country is watching. And he's saying things that she doesn't like. It's whittling away at her attack strategy, or all of their attack strategy. And there really is nothing she can do to stop it.
If you'd like to learn more about analysing body language, there is a video course available on Mandy's website for Gold subscribers, where Mandy teaches more about her techniques of deception detection. There's also other content such as the Crime Series and Interesting Minds series available to both Gold and Silver subscribers.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.